Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Walk the Dog Cinema. We are on June gloom Sunday morning, out and about, getting a nice brisk walk in, and I am going to discuss Messiah of Evil. And to say, I think I just for myself discovered a nice unknown gem for myself. I had never heard of Messiah of Evil. I'm a big horror fan. I've been since 1981. I've seen so many horror movies. It's you know, and pretty much you name it, I've seen it in terms of the big ones, obviously, and even quite a bit of the what we would call like Euro trash. I stay away from cannibal movies. Like I said, I've seen one of them, and like it's not a genre I care for with real animal violence and stuff like that. So I've always stayed away from seeing those, and it's not something that I'll ever watch to test my mettle, or like some of the other so-called horror films like Serbian film or Salo. I'm the true degradation, torture like stuff. Where it's just kind of depraved and done to shock. Yes, I've seen some of those movies like Human Centipede and stuff, but I read those, and I haven't seen. But when we're talking about classic horror films, I've seen all the Universal. I've seen so much of the black and white, and obviously the color. And we're talking about George Romero and John Carpenter. There's nothing I haven't seen by them. All the Halloweens and Friday the 13th. I mean, you name it, I've pretty much seen it. And and so I'm always looking for stuff I've never seen. It's still my favorite genre, just because of little gems like this. It's kind of where cinema stays kind of gritty and grounded at times. And the 70s always have some really bonker stuff, interesting stuff, that you can find. I mean, the 80s have it too, but like 70s horror, highly experimental, highly just kind of on the ground, and got some really good stuff out there. And this one is, I mean, pure 70s, kind of paranoia magic. And what I mean is, there's a lot of thrillers done in the 70s about government paranoia. You had Capricorn 1 and Day of the Jackal, and All the President's Men. But even horror movies, you had quite a bit, Devil's Reign, you could go with Burnt Offerings, even tail end of the late 60s, you got Rosemary's Baby, where, it's paranoia horror. And this one, man, you want to talk about something that's ramped. It's very much pre-David Lynch. It kind of has like some of that feel to it. William Hike and his wife Gloria Kantz made this, and the crazy thing is they would go on to write American Graffiti. They wrote Radio Land Murders. So they worked with George Lucas. I mean, they wrote Howard the Duck, but they also wrote Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And it's so quite an eclectic mix there. And they were recognized for American Graffiti for Academy Award. And so and even went on to help do the Lego Indiana Jones games. So in terms of like getting writing credit and things like that. So quite fascinating career for the husband-wife couple here, who all the way up to Gloria's death, they stayed married. And the actress, lead actress in this, she's in High Plains Drifter, and one of the other actresses who has just a crazy death in this film. Actually, kind of the two set pieces within deaths are highly inventive, just absolutely kind of like really effective, and I put it in the effective of like when Leatherface first shows up in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where he slides open the door and smashes it. And so, you know, when I get really into the review, there's gonna be heavy spoilers possibly, because it's really hard to talk about this film without kind of spoiling it in some degree, just because I really want people to appreciate this film if they because they watch this and you want to see the film. You know, I don't think the spoilers actually hurt it, because you're still gonna get the emotion from it, and that overall sense of unnaturalness. It's truly a like I said, a hidden gem. It'd be amazing if, you know, there was a good DVD out there and this was cleaned up a little bit. Actually, it's on Tubi right now, and it's actually a pretty good transfer. It isn't, you know, yeah, it's a little grainy, but I've read some other stuff where people have seen some really bad washed out versions, and Tubi's version isn't all that bad. You know, the blood's quite bright when it does show up, and it's a trip of a movie. It's highly atmospheric. It's a slow burn. It's only an hour and 20 minutes. It does get there really fast, but like I said, it's one of those now that it's kind of on my list that I hope it gets more attention, kind of finds a new home in life, that people pick up on it more and more, because for especially horror aficionados, I would say you have to see this. It's kind of one of those that really encapsulates kind of Lovecraftian, H.P. Lovecraft, how he maybe wrote, delves maybe into his kind of Cthulhu mythos. If you kind of know H.P. Lovecraft's writing and the Cthulhu stuff, you know, it very much sits in there. You could even kind of tell in this with John Carpenter's The Fog, though this one is much more paranoia than that one, where it's much more straightforward. But there are some similarities within kind of what's going on in terms of the unnaturalness of it. But man, this one just turns the screws up on that, and it all kind of makes sense at the end. So I just say kudos. I'm so glad I found it, watched it, and really just like one of those horror movies in a long time where you're just like, wow, what a great little film. You know, it's got its faults, but it's one of those that I could absolutely watch again, just to kind of pick out some other details, because for such a low budget, it's really got some great details, and just how it kind of makes you feel uncomfortable in a interesting way, though, not because you're squeamish, or it's just it just feels real on a certain level, but you know it's not, and it's kind of like you're in this dreamed nightmare, and things just feel off kilter, but they feel real. So in that regard, it's kind of genius. At least that's the feeling I got. You know, leave a comment if you've ever seen Messiah Evil, and let me know what you think about it. But let's get into it. So, like I said, it's a film about this lady who is going to this coastal town to talk to her father, visit her father, who she can't get a hold of, and we learn he's gone missing in this coastal town off of California. The opening's kind of weird. Has this guy running. This movie is highly open for interpretation, so again, spoiler alerts. It starts with a kill that kind of neither pays off or doesn't. You can kind of take it however you wish, I guess, once the film finishes. I just feel it kind of was to unsettle you, kind of get something going. Feels a little out of place. I think with the ending, with the interpretation that I took from it all, it was to kind of tell you that some of what the narrator is telling you is actually real. That's my interpretation of it. When if you see it, please let me know. But it does feel a little out of place. It is a great unsettling moment. I mean, it truly is. And it is interesting how the two kind of main men, the first killed guy and then the lead actor later on, Thom, they're very much philanderers, but kind of suave in this weird way, just in terms of how they react to females. I think that's done by choice, and I say that because this is a classic movie of the unreliable narrator. That's how I will put it. So I don't think that's completely spoiled, because the movie then goes into the sequence where we meet our heroine. And I say that very loosely. You know, I have my little fingers up here. I have to hold my dog here, but in quotations there. And the movie builds on that, and it builds to the end. And because of that, I mean, I really have never had a movie that really captures H.P. Lovecraft's like mental deterioration. This does better than even Polanski's Repulsion to me, in terms of that. It's fascinating to see it happen and kind of make you feel that, because there was points in this film that you kind of start, I wouldn't say nitpicking, but you're kind of like, everything feels off. Everything, it really feels unnatural. A lot of people relay, when I was, not a lot, but things I read, is that this is about zombies. I don't think they're inherently dead. I mean, I guess they are, and that's the other part of it, because, again, I'm going to go back to the unreliable narrator. This movie is very much in the lead heroine's purview. The story's being told by her. That's very important to the film, that it's being told by her, because as this movie unwinds, and I mean, it builds the tension, it builds it, and you get two amazing kills in this. The theater scene and the supermarket scene are amazing set pieces. They are unnerving. They are not gory, but they're disturbing in many ways, just because of the screams and just how it's shot and the desolation and just the visuality of it. It's almost like Hitchcockian in one sense, like how the shower scene is, where you don't see something but our minds put it together, and just because of how it was grouped and shot and done, and there's kind of a desolation and loneliness to it, but this sense of paranoia, it like all these layers are on it. And the theater scene builds tension like crazy. It is so wonderfully done, that one, even more so than the supermarket. But the supermarket scene is really good. Both kills are good, like I said. And so the unreliable narrator, and it really does the crescendo to the end of that, and within her being the only survivor, and kind of how it portrays and goes. Because, you know, there's moments in this film, I will say, that you kind of go, well, just get in the car and go, or just do this, or just do that. But like I said, when you get to the end and you really see what's kind of happened fully to our narrator, it all kind of just clicked in for me a little bit before that, because you kind of go, oh, okay. You know, we know we're doing flashback on why she's kind of talking at the beginning of the film, but it really sinks in at a certain moment when she's swimming in the ocean. So I don't want to give that too much away, because I kind of want you to, there's an emotional, for me, an emotionality to that kind of was that aha moment. And I would love to see, you know, your take on how this film handles that. because right before this, as the movie's unraveling, it kind of becomes like, what the heck is going on here? And like I said, it's not disjointed. It isn't disjointed. It's just that I wouldn't say the rules are thrown out. They're not changed, but there's a sense that things aren't making sense. But that it was important for the payoff. And that's why I'm saying that this is kind of open to interpretation of it all really did happen, only partially happened, or it didn't happen at all. And we're just watching someone going mad, and at the same time we're going mad with them. And you can take all three of those kind of with this movie, and you'll experience this movie in those three ways. I think that's kind of what I enjoy about it. You can take it as is, be a little frustrated, but you're gonna be frustrated just like the characters, or there's the middle point, and you're gonna have that same experience with it, or just the full-on paranoia aspect of it. And as you look back through the film, your mind was racing in that paranoia moment, kind of like in how you're gonna either pick apart the film, or kind of as you're sitting there getting uneasy about it. And so like I said, I kind of enjoyed how it manipulated me in that regard. A fantastic film. I wouldn't say the dialogue and all that is just expertly written, considering some of the stuff that this couple would go on to write. But you can kind of see within the set pieces a little bit of the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom stuff, because that movie had some great set pieces too that they wrote, right? And so really carefully crafted in that regard. Kudos. I mean, just it's a fantastic film. I think any horror fan should check it out for sure. If you're like a really horror fan and you're kind of into the H.P. Lovecraftian Cthulhu kind of thing, this movie has it all in that regard. If you're in the 70s paranoia, or you really like Repulsion or Rosemary's Baby, it has that feel to it too. So and then you get to see, like I said, one of the original Barker's beauties is in this. She was on The Price is Right for 4 or 5 years. She was one of the original models for Bob Barker and The Price is Right. Anita Ford. And she's also in The Longest Yard as Burt Reynolds' very pissed off girlfriend, throwing glasses around and stuff, who basically she gets, not him arrested, but sends him over the hill to get arrested. The lead actress, like I said, she High Plains Drifter. A lot of them were in TV in the 70s with Streets of San Francisco, Emergency, and all that. And so, like I said, the other actress was in the some Roger Corman produced Filipino film stuff, and same with Anita Baker. So kind of interesting that known faces for B pictures, but even some big movie pictures. Like I said, the lead actress I recognized immediately from High Plains. I was like, wait a minute, didn't she do a Western just right around this time? So check it out, Messiah Evil. You will not be disappointed. Just soak in the atmosphere, soak it all in, just kind of let the movie just take you, and hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. If you like my reviews and how I discuss film and just finding out new stuff or the older stuff that you may have seen and have a different view on it, please subscribe. Have a good one, everyone.